Is it criticism or is it feedback? What's the difference? So whenever we talk about criticism, there's always someone who says, wait a minute, what about constructive criticism? You're saying, don't criticize, it's Vaishnava aparad. But what about constructive criticism? What about having to deal with something? Yes. So let's talk about the difference between criticism and what I would call feedback, rather than call it constructive criticism. I would just like to take it out of another category. What's going on in criticism, from my study of it, both from our Shastra and from the world of psychology, which both basically come up with the same conclusion, it's tamasic. It's dysfunctional. It's just something is wrong with us. And it's not about what's wrong with a person, it's about what's wrong with us. And so, therefore, it is said, when someone is criticizing, or when we're criticizing, it says much more about us than it does about the person we're criticizing. What does it say about we need to criticize? So there's something going on inside of us. We need to blame somebody. We need to fault somebody for some reason. Why? Well, there are many reasons. I've actually written a paper. I've got 37 different reasons why. But rather than go over the 37, which would make a wonderful seminar, I will just tell you there are 37 different kinds of dysfunctions coming from the lack of humility and an ego that's itching to be inflated, basically. So what is feedback? Feedback is solution-based. Feedback is not intended to make somebody feel bad. It's not intended to condemn anyone. It's not intended to belittle anyone, to minimize anyone. Feedback is intended to solve a problem. Here is a situation. Could it be done this way? Would that be a solution? Could we not do it this way? We're stating a problem without attacking a person. We're talking about behaviors that we would like to see improved or changed. And we're coming up with solutions. It's very sattvic. It's very sattvic in the sense that it brings us together. It is solution-based, therefore sattvic. And it doesn't degrade anybody. It doesn't create akrama. It doesn't create any kind of lack of harmony. It creates harmony. So if we're talking about feedback, the mentality with which it's given is much different than the mentality which generates criticism. Feedback is given by concerned individuals who want to help a situation, who have respect for the person they're criticizing. They're not trying to pull them down. They're following principles of etiquette, respectful dialogue, respectful discussion about an issue which they would like to see resolved, and better that they come up with ideas of how this can be done and respectfully present them. In criticism, it's more about, I'm right, you're all wrong. I know what to do, you're all stupid. It's not about respectful dialogue. Criticism, as I said, it's just a very tamasic thing. And so if you want to rationalize criticism, that's not a good idea. But just take it to a level of feedback where we're actually talking about how to improve a situation without demeaning anybody. Then we don't even have to say constructive criticism, because the word criticism in ISKCON is not a good word. It's got bad. The word criticism has a bad rap in the Shastras. Definitely bad rap. So let's just call it feedback. Let's understand the difference, and then let's engage, if needed, in positive feedback. If, of course, there is an environment where people are willing and open to listen to the feedback. If they're not, then you're trying to be generous and give feedback. It can be interpreted as criticism. So you have to be careful. But generally, if the motive is to help and not condemn anyone, generally it will be appreciated. Hare Krishna.